Thank you, Macarena, and good morning, everyone. For today, let me share my screen and we will start. Um, Number one. Okay, so for today, we're going to be reviewing the process of how to create and update an automatic rules in Microsoft Dynamics 365. Um, Basically, to start, I want to just a quick introduction. Dynamics 365 Customer Service Hub allows you to create rules that, well, you could automate some functionalities like create or update a record. So basically, the idea is to find what are the triggers that you want to have in the process, and after that, you could configure what are the records that you want to update or that you want to create. The information that we are going to be reviewing today is going to be the Microsoft, the official documentation. So basically, if you have any issue, probably I could just share with you the official documentation. Okay. So the agenda for today, and as Macarena mentioned, we are going to be reviewing some prerequisites, how to configure a rule, how to configure advanced settings, some considerations on some probably things that I'm going to mention and that are going to be part of the experience that we want to share with you. And finally, we are going to be showing you how to use the active monitor, the activity monitor. At the beginning, in terms of the prerequisites, basically, the first thing that you need to keep in mind is that to start, you need to have the permissions of the roles to create a rule. Basically, and most of the time, this procedure is a procedure that probably you're going to be doing like a system administrator or something like that. But if not, probably you need to talk with the administrator and ask for some minimum requirements or for minimum roles. The process of to start creating this, you need to come here on the apps menu in the CRM, and you need to come to Customer Service Hub. As soon as you enter there, you will find here in the left bottom side, you're going to find the Service Management, and on Service Management, you're going to have the automatic record creation and update rule. Basically, that's the menu that you need to follow to go there. Okay, and that menu is going to appear just if you have the menus, if you have the roles. Okay. By default, Dynamics 365 Customer Service support creating records from the following activities. So you need to, you could create a record directly from an email, from a social activity, from a task, from a phone call, from an appointment, from a service activity, or from a customer activity. Basically, you could customize the CRM just to trigger on a specific event, like create a record or update a record after something happened in the system, and basically the something happened is going to be some of these activities. Okay. These activities can be converted to any default system entity or any custom entity. So for example, if you want to send an email and after that you want to send an automatic SMS or something like that, you could just configure this rule and the rule could do the specific job. Okay. For example, you could create a lead, an opportunity, an incident, or and you could create that based on a specific email. For example, you could configure an specific address, an email address, and after that, you could just decide what do you want to create in the system based on that information. Basically, those rules are used for that specific purpose. Basically, when you receive an email, you could just trigger like create an incident or create an opportunity or create a lead. So that's a good thing. That's a good way to use the situation. Okay. The next thing here is going to be how to configure the role. So the first thing that you need to do is go to the Service Hub site. That is the functionality that I just showed you. And after that, just create a record. I don't want to just keep just explaining you the theory. So let's go to the practical way. So if you create here a new rule, you're going to have something like this. You're going to have a rule name. You're going to have source type that is going to be an email or any of the rules that you wanted. And after that, you need to define the queue. The queue is going to be basically the place where the CRM is going to put all the emails that is going to be receiving. And as soon as the CRM receives the emails, it's going to be creating those, I mean, the action that you just configure. So like, for example, in this case, I want to create an automatic case. As soon as I receive an email to this email, I want to create a case directly to the system. So on the creation rule, the only thing that you need to just do is just fill this thing. This is the previous form or the regular form, and the new one is going to be this one that I'm going to be just showing you. The CRM one to just keep showing me messages. So here I have that information, the role name, the queue monitor, and the activity type. Here you're going to have the activity monitor that is going to allow you to see all the information that is happening with the rule. And finally, you will have some migration trackers if you have something additional stuff. So here you're going to be creating that information. And here on the web client, you could configure some specific creation and update detail. Okay, so basically the first thing that you need to do is create the rule, as I mentioned there. You need to define your rule name, queue monitor, and activity type of monitor. Okay. After that, you're going to be able to select the conditions that is going to evaluate record creation. To configure those conditions, you could just come here. Okay. Actually, I think that that's the previous way to configure it. Let me see something here. One moment. Okay, so if you enter here to customer service as well, sorry, it is going to be on. Okay, so so you could create the rules using this functionality that is basically the previous one. And if you want to use the new one, you need to come here to customer service admin. On customer service admin, you could come here to page settings. And as soon as you enter here, you're going to have the automatic record creation rules that you can click on manage, and it's going to appear basically the new way to do it. So if you enter here, you are going to have here the same thing, basically the rule name, the source type, the queue, the owner, and after that you are going to have here the specific update details. Let me see, basically the same screen, but if you enter here, you're going to have the new interface. So the new interface is going to have the step 2 with the conditions that you want to evaluate. And finally, you could define an additional action that you want to take as soon as the condition is matched. So for example, here, the condition that I want to evaluate, I just need to click on new. And I need to define the name, email.
Okay, pero tengo un equipo de gringo.
And something's happening with this interface. Okay, so basically you define, I mean, be sure that you are in the UCI form, because if not, it's going to be starting some JavaScript messages. So you could define here what is the condition that you want to evaluate. Like, for example, you want to add some specific condition like evaluate the subject or evaluate the prompt or evaluate some specific theme, you could do it. So if you want to evaluate something related with the subject, you could do it. Subject, for example, contains any specific word, something like that, you could define it. And after that, as soon as you configure the conditions that you want to apply, if you don't want to apply any condition, you just need to delete it. If you want to do something more complex, you could do it as well. You could have a role, a group, or any additional related entity here.
Okay.
After that, the idea is just save and open a Power Automate. So with the Power Automate, you are going to configure what are the actions that you want to do. So as I explained here, basically you need to define here the conditions, and after that you need to define what's the power automate that you want to trigger. The power automate by default is going to be, um, it's going to be the basic one, but on the Power Automate, you could do as much as you require. All the information regarding the Power Automate is going to be in the Power Automate the official documentation. But basically, what Microsoft did with this new update is going to be that as soon as you create the record in the system, it's going to trigger an action. Previously was like a basic functionality, but now they just relate that with the Power Automate. So on Power Automate, you could just configure all the steps that you wanted. So as you can see here, it's going to be a trigger that is going to be directly from the rule. But after that, you could define here what are the steps that you want to follow. Okay, so basically here you need to define what is going to be your Power Automate. And as soon as you do that, you just need to turn on your Power Automate. Okay, just click here and turn on as soon as you configure the functionality that you want to trigger there. And after that, you just need to save the rule and it's going to be related to that Power Automate. Okay, as soon as you save the rule, you just need the trigger or the condition is going to be here. And as soon as you finish that, you just need to activate the rule. Okay. Basically, that's the function. That's the way to configure the trigger. At the end, you're going to have some additional actions that it's something like this: automatically reply to an email. If you want to say yes, for example, you could define what's the template that you want to reply to the person that just wrote the email, and the system is going to be sending you that. Okay. Additionally, there are some advanced settings that probably you're going to be interested in review. The advanced settings is going to be here. You could define here allows email from node sender. You could say no. That is going to be that if someone that you don't know in the system send you an email, the system is just going to ignore that. It's a good thing just for spam. If you want to define that you are going to be just receiving emails from some companies or some contacts that has an entitlement active, you could define that as well. And you could define, some other functionalities that are going to be available here. I'm explaining here that. Additionally, here, you could define here the user that the system is going to be using to activate a rule. Probably there are some entities or something that you are going to be reviewing and accessing based on some permissions. So just be sure that the person that you configure here has the right permissions. Okay. Basically, those are the advanced things that you can configure there. The next things that I want to mention are some considerations. Activate a rule for creating update records automatically. For any record creation and update rule to apply to match an incoming activity, after you activate a rule item, you must activate a rule. So it means that probably you could configure some actions here, or you could configure the Power Automate, or you could configure anything that you require. But just the rule is going to be working just if you activate that. If the rule is on draft like this one, it's not going to be doing anything. Okay, so be sure that the rule is active. Change the order of the rules items to be evaluated. The rule is going to evaluate the things in a specific order. So you want to evaluate that in a different one, then just be sure that the order that you are defining to validate the things is going to be the right one. Okay. Something that I didn't mention here, but it's important, is that if you have a development environment and if you want to deploy that to a production environment, be sure that always when you deploy, the rule is going to pass on draft. So always be sure to activate a rule. Okay. The last functionality here is going to be the activity monitor. The activity monitor is a functionality that allows you to see what is happening with your rule. It's going to tell you if the rule is it failed, if it was skipped, it's ready to activate, it was triggered or not. So probably it's going to be a way to evaluate that. Let me try to enter to a production environment. And probably in that production environment, we could just review with more details what could be happening within a specific rule. Because if I try to show you that on that environment, on the test environment, probably it's not going to be more many information there. So let's try to enter here to this production one. Let's enter to case settings, automatic rule. And let me see, this one is active. This one has a Power Automate related. It's not showing me any activity. Well, but basically the way to review that is going to be here on the activity monitor is going to be showing you what is happening with the rule. Okay. So the process, and just to do a quick review, a quick review. Just need to enter the customer service admin center, enter the case settings. There you're going to find the menu to create that. And as soon as you create it, you're going to be ready to configure the functionality that you want. For example, in this one, that is the production one. Let me try to show you the Power Automate. Probably is available there. Let me try to show you that. This is great. Well, for some reason. Okay. So here I'm going to be showing you the Power Automate that is configured for this. Basically, it's going to identify the sender. It's going to identify if the person that is writing me is a contact or an account. Is there on a category as a subcategory? That's custom for me because I want to identify the category and subcategory, or I need to define the full category and the full category. And with that information, I'm going to be creating a case. So for me, in my instance, the category and subcategory are mandatory fields. So that's why I just predefine that. And after that, I just create a contact. Okay. And after that, I just connect that to the original one. I didn't configure that structure. It's an structure that the CRM is going to generate as soon as you enter here to the record one. If you enter here, let me try to show you that. If you enter to the role, let me close it. And if you click here the role that you are configuring and you pass to Power Automate, let me see that. To the demo base. Basically, as soon as you create that, the system is going to generate the structure. It's not working at the moment, probably because I entered to the previous instance, so it's just getting some issues. Okay, probably here. I'm just gonna say continue, and I'm going to. Okay, so basically here you need to define all the steps that you want to follow, and after that the CRM is going to be, the Power Automate is going to be just following that steps. Okay, so the way, as Microsoft configures this functionality, is a rule that is going to activate a trigger, and that trigger is going to be a Power Automate. And in the Power Automate, you could just configure the things that you require. Okay, so that this is a pretty basic functionality. So I just wanted to show, and I just wanted to share with you this functionality. I think that is pretty powerful, but it's pretty simple as well. So that's why probably try by yourself and you don't have any instance to try it. You could use the Optimus demonstration instance that is available all the time. So this is the URL and the user and the password. You could use it. If you wanted, I could just share with you that on the chat, or I could just send you that on an email. So if you wanna just have access to this one and you didn't copy the right information, or you didn't copy the user and password, you could just enter, or you could just send me an email. That's my email. So if you want, just send me an email and I'll just ask for the access to the instance, and I could share with you that information. So there's no issue, but basically, um, I will want to encourage you to use it, because just with the theoretical information or just with the presentation that I just did, it's not going to be enough just to understand the powerful of the function. Okay, so that's it. That's a pretty basic topic. I just wanted to say thank you because of your time, and just to be here. So if you have any comment, or if you have any question, just send me an email and I will be just answering you as soon as I can. Okay, thanks a lot for your time.